Hey guys, it's Danny Son here from Chrome Sparks, and I'm here to show you how to play Riff Idea number 3. Let me explain what I used in the MP3, because the sound's kind of weird. I was experimenting with a bunch of different things. Notably, I had my Dean Exotica Rosewood Supreme plugged into my regular Johnson Reptone amp, but it was just on the clean setting with chorus. I just did that to kind of give it a bit of a different sound and kind of add a bit of nuances to it. I also used some high and low pass filters to kind of try to filter out that tubby sound I was getting with one of the chords. But the whole thing turned out really thin, and I don't know, I don't really like the way it sounded. I did everything to kind of eliminate that overly bassy sound. I even turned my guitar away from the mic, but it didn't work. So today I'm just going to be using the acoustic itself. It's tuned in standard, it's not in drop D or anything. I don't think I've ever really done a review on this. I mean, it's a really nice guitar. They normally sell for about $600 to $700 now, but thankfully I got this puppy for $300 used. Just because it's got like a couple nicks right up there. You can't really see them, but yeah, you can see them. It's like right there, just a little nick. And after changing the strings, I noticed there's a lot of wear on the saddles, or the pins. I might get that replaced later on, but since I have to move, that'll probably be put on the back burner for a bit. When I do get it, I'll probably get like a Graph Tech, like the Tusk saddles, because I've heard good things about those. But enough of my blabbing. Time to get on with Riff Idea number 3. Okay, and yeah, you can definitely tell I haven't warmed up yet today, and it's been a while since I've actually picked up the guitar and played it. But anyway, what I'm basically, if you've been reading my blog for a while, you know that I did something way back in like the Zanga days, so we're talking like 2006 here, where I came up with this little, it's actually a standard 5 power chord, root 5 power chord, but because the B is tuned differently than all the other strings, instead of it being in this position, with C being the root, and then you have the 5th, so which are playing these 4 strings. So if 6 is the lowest, you'd be playing the 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I think Mark Tremonti from Creed uses a similar pattern for, well, he's from, I believe it's My Own Prison from Creed, if I remember right, something like. Something like that. But it's basically the same shape. But even though I'm holding a basic C power chord, the actual key is in D, I found out, because of the open D string. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking that C5 power chord right around here, here's the C, and then you're on the second string, 6th fret, and you're just basically strumming those strings. you pretty much leave the heaviest two strings alone. So that way you don't get that extra bassiness. And so you're basically just arpeggiating it or just picking every note instead of strumming it. Strumming comes later, but you're going. And still keeping that same shape, you slide over a whole step or 2 frets, and you do the. And you just do that again. And then after the, I believe it's the second time, you let it ring a little bit longer than normal. And then when you slide back to the C power chord, you do the strumming as opposed to arpeggiating. So it's. And then that begins the really weird chording. I haven't really figured out what this chord is, but I'm basically just taking my ring finger, putting it on the 3rd string. It'd be 3rd string, 9th fret, still keeping my index finger on the 7th fret, 3rd string. So it's basically just an upside down power chord shape. Where the regular power chord shape would be like this, mine is like this. So you basically get this. That kind of sound. And it sounds really weird and almost atonal, just borderline atonal. You're basically just taking that shape and going, and strumming it. And then on the 3rd thing, you basically take the reverse power chord, or you take the weird power chord shape that I was doing at the beginning, and then you reverse it, so that way your middle finger would be on the 4th string, if 6 is the heaviest, on the 5th fret, and then your index finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. So you come up with this sound. So altogether the shape goes. And you gotta be careful not to hit the top 2 strings because it'll sound too bassy and weird. Like that's just too weird. So you gotta really, if anything, just kind of ghost over the notes that you're plucking and try to accent the open strings, the open treble strings. That way you get the lightest sound possible. So basically it goes. Then you go back to the strumming pattern, that whole thing, and then after you do that, you go back to the. Then the 3rd time around, you add an extra chord. You go, and remember this shape right here. You basically do it down here, which would be on the 10th fret, 4th string, and then the 9th fret, 3rd string. So it sounds like. So it'll be. That sort of thing. And then the weird chord shapes that I do up here, the ones where it can sound really, really tubby and bassy, especially since it's a rosewood guitar, which definitely accents the bassiness. But if you have a maple back and sides guitar, or even a mahogany back and sides guitar, it probably won't be as bassy, but still you gotta be careful with it. So basically I'm doing another power chord shape on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then 3rd string, 4th fret, and I'm just going. Then I'm switching the shape, going from to, which would be 4th fret, 4th string, and then 2nd fret, 3rd string. So I just basically flip the shape around. So, and then in the MP3, I actually hold the index finger down on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, but because it might be a bit difficult, especially for a beginner or for someone who hasn't practiced like me, it's okay to just kind of ghost it, and just as long as you don't hit too many strings, it'll still sound. I think it sounds a little bit better if I don't hit it, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, so whatever. This sounds a little less atonal if you hold it, as opposed to, you know, whatever you choose. So basically you go. Then you resume the. Just keep on going and you do it again, and then at the very end it's just you pick it like you did in the intro, but then I kind of got inspired by like a clock that has kind of like a wind-up clock that has reached the end of its wind-up, so when it rings really slowly and just kind of almost off time, so you get the... and the little like back, it's kind of inspired by David Gilmour a little bit. Yeah, even I'm inspired by David Gilmour. Freaking everybody is. But I just like the lush upside down chords are inspired by David Gilmour. So that's basically Riff Idea number 3. I can see this vlog is getting on in minutes, so it's definitely going to be a bit of a pain to edit everything. But I'll do my best. So yeah, that's Riff Idea number 3. This is the Andy-san signing off. As always, all comments are welcome, and I'll try to respond to all of them as best I can. Hope you guys have an excellent day. Rock out!